Just don't break that pipe. Then we'll be in trouble. What's up, guys? Welcome out to another wonderful, glorious day on the farm. So we are done with everything planting wise. We have to get all the water on. That's essentially what I'm trying to say. So we have a bunch of new fields that we're running this year that we don't entirely know how to run them. We've got a little bit of direction, so I guess we'll see how it goes. But I've got this ditch that I need to turn on down here, and yeah, it looks like it could be interesting to watch turning on. So I thought I would start the episode here with turning on this ditch so I can get water to my pivot. Down here is where the ditch will start, and actually, like, you can't tell, but this is like a 20-foot drop on both sides, but it's just lined with old worn out pivot tires and stuff. But the pipe's right here, and it looks like it drops about 5 feet onto a bunch of concrete blocks, and I have to go turn it on over here. So I'm gonna turn it on, and then we'll watch the water run out. They said it takes about 3 hours for the water to get from here, has to go all the way down to the road and over, and the pivot I'm running is kind of over by that white cellar way over there. I think it's that field right there, just on the other side of the green field. So let's get it turned on and see what we got. Now here's the head gate, but I don't have my tripod or my camera. I'm using my phone today, so I'll get this turned on because I can't hold my phone and turn it on at the same time. So I'll get this turned on and then we'll come back. I can hear the water. Oh, there it is. That looks like about the right flow. I don't know, but it's slowly filling up this ditch. It is gonna take a while. Lovely little waterfall for the morning. There's the water right there. As a kid, I always loved watching the water come down the ditch. It's just fun to watch. Hopefully it doesn't dam up or something. There's a bunch of fallen branches where these trees are. So hopefully it doesn't clog up too bad. Looks like it's carrying some debris. Well, I flushed out a raccoon. He's swimming down the ditch. Apparently I flooded his hole for the winter. I've moved down to the other end of this ditch where it's just starting to get into these trees. So it's kind of got to wind through there somehow. This looks like a pivot tire graveyard. Got a tire there, a whole bunch of tires scattered up along the side of that bank. Old dumping ground for pivot tires. This was not me. I know a lot of you guys are like, you need to clean up your stuff. This is not my stuff. This is all brand new for us this year. Okay, I'm back at the farm now. We're removing an old main line, so we're not actually removing it. We moved it. So we're my parents are putting a shop right here. Not a shop for us to work in, just a shop for their toys. So we are yanking out the old risers and mainline stuff. There it is. Just break off the old riser. There's just a few risers right here in the posts, breaking them off. We basically moved the main line. So it used to come out right here and just go straight, but we've moved it over. So now it goes back over there, it jogs over here, and then comes all the way across over to here, and then comes this way. So we just had to move it so the main line wasn't underneath the shop that they're building. So that's what we're doing right now, and then we got to get this filled in. the concrete truck is coming to just pour some thrust blocks on all these corner joints so they don't blow out, and we have big issues. So we just got to kind of clean this up because this is where they're putting their new garage, I guess. Just getting this corner piece fixed. They're working over there getting that piece fixed. Hopefully have this done in a minute. Okay, well, we've got this 90 on. We have to take this repair coupler apart and slide it in and get it put on. I think they've pretty well got that end done where we accidentally hooked it. So we just got to get this piece on. The concrete trucks will be here in about half an hour. So instead of putting thrust blocks, we're just going to cover all this in concrete. Should work a lot better. We don't ever want this to come apart again, so concrete's the way to go.
That was, oh, wicked awesome.
We could tap this bell out just a little if it needs to come out. If we cut it just a little too short, but because as long as we're inside that gasket, so you've got a few inches, you just don't want to go too far. Oh, it's actually coming apart at the other bell, but it's still coming. That might work once you get it tightened up and bolted.
Take that bar and pry that just a little bit.
Well, I just got back from lunch and the cement truck's already been here. He's already poured cement. Poured it here, down there, over there, and then right here. So he's just washing his stuff out. But I have to go out and now start that pivot that we turned the ditch on this morning. So I'm gonna go back out there and flush it and hopefully get it going. Okay, I just started the pump, sucking out of this little pond. Trevor is way over there, waiting for that to flush. But I actually have the plug here in my side-by-side, so he cannot plug it. But I gotta wait for the water to come out of the end of that. All right, there it is. The water's blowing out right there. Let it run for a second, get clean. Still looks pretty dirty, actually. I was gonna turn it off, but looking pretty dirty for a second. Okay, now I just gotta shut it off. We'll go put the plug in. Well, now we wait. Trevor had to leave, he's right there. Bye, Trevor. I guess Christopher needs a hydraulic hose made. So we're gonna wait for this to finish draining. It's gonna be a muddy mess. But hey, if you look right there, our seed potato has roots. It's starting to sprout, but we just dug that one up, so that one's not gonna grow anything. Water's running clear down the row. Luckily, we only have to do this once. Okay, it's done. It's just dribbling now. So I have to crawl up there, put this cap back on. I'm sorry I can't get you any cool shots. I forgot my GoPro. I forgot my action cam today, so it's just a cell phone. So yeah, we're doing our best here. Got it. It's on there now. At least if I fell, it'd be soft and muddy and I wouldn't get hurt. I'm out here at the pivot center. Every time we have a new system, I can't, it's always trying to figure it out. Like it says the pump's on and that it's blue, so it's watering, but yeah, it's not on. So I don't know what is going on with this thing. I don't know how to get it to run with the pivot, just on auto. So trial and error, I'll figure it out. Well, I started it up and almost every single drop was plugged. There's a few that aren't. You can see like that one. There's a couple of them that are spraying. but most of them are plugged. So I was going to turn the pivot off to go clean them, but they're all higher than I can reach. So I need a little short ladder. And I thought before I do that, I'm gonna see if I can find the drop. Oh, I see it. It blew off of this one. I don't know if it's gonna go back on. So here's the drop, the nozzle. Good thing I found it. But I think the threads are completely gone on that thing. So, not sure what I'm gonna do. So I've almost got the pivot straight. I'm standing on the four-wheeler to get eye level with these drops. Basically, you gotta take them out, take the nozzles out, and get sprayed in the process. But they're clear full of rust. You gotta clean them out and then put them back in before the pivot drives away, because the pivot's driving away from me. I don't know if I can get it. Oh, there we go. Sweet. All right, guys. Well, I have my action cam today, not my phone.
What's up?
We've got some work we're doing. This is a different field. This isn't the field I was doing the pivot in, but had the excavator out here cleaning out the ditch, just making it so there's no weeds and crap to get around this pump right here. So what was wrong with this one?
So
Somebody turned our head gate off.
yeah, the ditch comes down there and it hasn't been cleaned out or burned or anything. So the guys are cleaning it, but there's also 2 head gates down there. And we were kind of warned that this ditch is always, you got to check it all day, like all the time. But down here, there's one head gate that opens this ditch, and another head gate that opens the ditch for this ditch. So it's probably going to be a little bit of a struggle keeping water in this. We need to put in a well.
Yeah. So yeah, we were warned of this ditch. People, it's just random people, just they flood their pastures or whatever, and then they shut the head gates off and drain the ditch. So, but once we get done with this one, we have some repairs to do to the other one, because it was, I forgot to film. So I filmed cleaning out the nozzles. Well, after I was going to get it turned on, the ditch basically blew out. The pump was like halfway underwater. So we need to go repair the side of the ditch. So hopefully it doesn't leak all into the field and into the pump, and yeah. So we've got some work to do on that other ditch too. So lots of ditch work today, but I'll just continue yesterday's video right into today. Okay, now I'm back at this pump. You can see how bad it was leaking into the field. A couple of these actually went all the way down to the pivot center, which is kind of crazy, but it was leaking really bad right here, and it was coming out from underneath this pipe, and it was coming out over there. Like it's just leaking all over the place. So Christopher's gonna bring the excavator over here, but I'm actually gonna turn the pump on so we can suck this sump dry a little bit. Hopefully be able to get it fixed. And I'm sorry if it's a little windy. It is windy today. So I'm actually just gonna take and go hand, start that up. And it should. It takes a minute because it's gotta suck it up and then through the pipe. But it should suck this down a little bit. Well, I thought it would suck it up. I thought it would have enough force to actually suck, but apparently the water level has to be high enough for it to flow into that pipe and prime it. So that's not gonna work. We'll just have to deal with it. Okay, well, we're attempting to seal the ditch up so it doesn't leak anymore. Because yeah, it was just leaking pretty bad. But also the power runs through here over to that pole over there, so we can't do anything too crazy because we don't exactly know where the power line's at. But we got to get this to stop leaking. Yeah, I know the one hole that was right here. I don't know where that one was leaking through, because that one didn't start leaking until the water came up over this little ditch. So I don't entirely know where it was leaking from. It might be right. It might be coming through here, but I don't know. But we'll work at this, and hopefully we don't hit any electrical lines. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to fix this. Yeah, you could possibly. It was running underneath the pipe. It's kind of a mess out here. It's what we get when we rent new systems. Problems. Once we fix the problems, everything will be fine, but it's fixing the problems that is the problem. Now that we've kind of worked it up, now we got to push the dirt back in and kind of pack it a little bit. But the problem is, it's kind of muddy. There is a walkway right there. I don't know how to fix that. Yeah. We almost need to just dig it out, pour some concrete right there. Because I don't know how you're gonna get it underneath packed good. Don't break that pipe. Then we'll be in trouble. We'll keep working at it. Well, we think we may have sealed up the leaks. There's a bunch of weeds right here that got washed down the ditch, so just cleaning out a bunch of the weeds, and then we'll go turn the ditch on in a little bit. It takes about 2 hours for the water to finally get down here, so we'll turn it on and start the pump. Hopefully it doesn't run out again. Well guys, I don't know what's going on. Ditch is full again. It's just gushing out from underneath this pipe. I turned the pump on, no water. It's like it won't pump. I flushed it yesterday and now it won't pump, so I have no idea what's going on. Maybe the pump's bad, I don't know. It sounds like it's spinning good. I don't know. I hate when we get new systems. All right guys, I got it. It just took about 10 minutes for that pump to finally get suction. And yeah, the ditch is too full. I went and turned it down, but it's still full. It needs to, maybe in a couple hours it'll go down, but it is working. I did have to go across here and unplug about 8 or 10 of them, and I am soaking wet. The only dry spot on me, right here. So you can see, like I'm soaked to the bone, and it's only about 48 degrees out here. Okay, well, they came out with some shovels and stuff. We're trying to stop this leak. It has slowed down a bit, but it's still leaking just a little bit. Just don't want it to run down the roads or it'll end up rotting the potatoes in the ground.
We just got to get to the bottom of the pipe.
And we're all freezing because we're all wet because we've been cleaning and starting pivots all day.
Yep. So you know the best thing for that? Start shoveling when you get warm. I just don't want to fall in the ditch.
Yeah, that wouldn't be
I'm
fun.
not gonna lie, I would laugh if I had
Hey, I'd probably go home for the ditch.
Well, I think we've just about got it stopped.
The home pivots had, well,
Basically, there was a hole underneath this whole pipe, so they've been packing mud and dirt and
to. We need to run it for like
everything underneath there to try and stop up the hole. It looks like we pretty well stopped it, so that would be great.
a couple rounds without sticking into the water and fall.
right down there. Not taking all our water on that thing.
Yeah, we can't put the mirror on.
Pivot's end gun just turned on, so it's spraying. Got it going. We'll work on this a little bit more, see if we can't just make sure that it won't leak anymore. And we'll probably call it a day. Alright guys, so hopefully you enjoyed today's video. We still have a few pivot problems, but we're gonna get it figured out. We have this one over here that just keeps shutting off. So, yeah. I am freezing cold. I'm just going back out to check and make sure the ditch is not overflowing all over the place. Make sure that that little patch we put in there holds. Yeah, make sure you go down below, fill out the form for the RMF Club. We are going to be sending out stickers every week to a few people who are on that list. So make sure to get your name on there. And I love you, and I'll see you in the next one.